Bethany Manktelow here. Welcome to our Millwall Fans Show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy! Welcome to the 2025-26 season of Millwall No One Likes Talkin's Our Millwall Fans Show. I'm your host, Bethany Manktelow, and I'm excited to be here tonight with the fantastic No One Likes Talkin team. Hello, Ted.
Good evening, Bethany.
Good evening, and good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Bethany.
And good evening, Andy.
Good evening, Bethany.
And a big hello to all of our listeners too.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
This evening we've got a guest and there are plenty of Millwall matters to discuss in these very exciting times. For now, let's just take a pause for a moment to hear about our sponsor, G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned marque. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julian's here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 81 3562. G&M Motors have been dear friends with the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, lions together.
I'm your host, Bethany Manktelow, and with me I have the No One Likes Talkin team of Dave Hart, Ted Robinson and Andy Pettman. A big thank you to our sponsor, G&M Motors. Our guest tonight originates from Southwark. He started as an apprentice and became a pro at Tottenham Hotspur. He transferred to Millwall in 1967 and played 245 matches, scoring 87 goals. He left in January 1973 for Selhurst, then played for Leyton Orient. In October 1977, he signed with Dublin St Patrick's Athletic, scoring twice on debut under Barry Bridges. He spent 3 NASL seasons with the Vancouver Whitecaps, winning the 1979 Soccer Bowl, and finished his career in Canada, where he lives to this day in British Columbia. Welcome to the man they call the Poss, Derek Possee.
Hello. Evening, Derek.
Evening, Derek.
Hi.
Hi, Derek.
I'm good.
So, Derek, you've been in British Columbia for quite some time now. Fans have been asking if you would share what path you took after hanging up your boots.
Well, actually, it's quite incredible because I played until I was 36 and then I've been coaching until I retired at 70. I worked with the Vancouver Whitecaps. I'd done my own soccer schools. I worked with Tony Waiters with the Canadian national team and Olympic teams. I was head coach of British Columbia soccer for 5 years and worked with Holger Osiak with the Canadian program and coached the under-15 national team. And then I was coaching club teams because club football has gone crazy over here as well. for the kids. And I coached until I was 70 and then retired. So I've been in football all my life. Now I'm coming up to 80, so I've been retired almost 10 years.
Hi, Derek. Andy here. Going back to the start of your career, what motivated you to leave Spurs for South London and join Millwall to continue your football journey?
Well, I'd broken into the first team group at Tottenham, and Bill Nicholson was the manager, who was a great manager. And it came to, my contract came up, and I was asked for a new contract, and he offered me, I always remember it, £30 a week. I was earning £20 at the time, £30 a week, and I asked for 35, and he said, no, they couldn't go to that. And I said, well, I was getting married. I was 21 years old. I needed, to support my family. And so I said that I would look elsewhere if I could. And he said, well, he wouldn't let me go. He wasn't going to let me go. Keith Weller, who had already signed for Millwall, and we were still in contact with each other, and he said, hey, Poss, he said, Benny Fenton fancies you. Do you fancy coming over here? It's great, He said, you'll love it. So anyway, so I went in and asked for a transfer from Bill Nick, and he said he was going to let me go again. And then Benny came in with a crushing 25,000, and Bill Nick said, okay, you can go. And that's when I met Benny and Mickey Purser, funny enough, at the Elephant and Castle at a Chinese restaurant. And we had Chinese food, talked about contracts, and I signed that night. And then I become a Millwall player. That was a Thursday night, and I played on the Saturday. And we lost 2-1 on the Saturday. I remember that.
It must have been quite a big change, wasn't it? Going from Spurs to the Den. What was the biggest difference you noticed between the setups?
Well, I mean, there is no comparison, is there? I mean, even in today, you look at the stadium. Millwall have got this beautiful stadium now, and Tottenham have got this incredible stadium. And it was a bit that way. They had all the facilities, they had a nice club. Millwall was, down at the Den. I mean, teams used to hate coming there. It was great. They'd walk in and little dressing rooms, and it was great. It was just a facilities change. Down at Deptford Park training instead of at Cheshunt when I was at Tottenham. It was a different world, but a very happy world in that the players were great, and Benny Fenton built, I felt, a great team there.
Hi, Derek. It's Ted here.
Hi.
Since 1967 was your first season with the Lions, if I remember rightly, we're curious.
Yes.
How did you find settling in with Benny Fenton's team? And do you have any special moments from the season that stand out for you?
Well, when the first game we played, we lost, I think it might have been Blackpool, we lost 2-1 to. And, and it was like, we shouldn't have lost that game. And it was my first game. I'd only been with the boys a day and a half. And but Benny Fenton was a very shrewd tactician, and he built his team really well. You look at the balance of that team, and it got stronger. Keithy Weller and me came in, and then young Dougie Order came through. I said I'd give Dougie a mention, so Dougie, you got your mention. And, and he built it, and it was big kitch, Harry. I mean, the salt of the earth. And it was just a great, great feeling in the dressing room all the time. And at the Den, we never thought we could ever lose at the Den. But the supporters demanded 100%. And that's what you went out and give them.
Yeah, I remember my first away game, Derek, was when we played Charlton and we won 4-3 on the opening day. And you have been a hero of mine ever since that day, because if I remember rightly, you scored twice in that game.
I did. That was that was the first game of the season.
It was. And half of my family are Charlton, which is the big half. And my dad's side are Millwall. So I was a very, very happy boy, thanks to you. So, but when you was in that side, who was the biggest influence, would you say, upon your career in that team at the time at Millwall?
In the team, well, I think Keith Weller. I mean, Keith and me come from Tottenham, and we got to be known as a dynamic duo. Keithy set him up, and I scored him at that time. And I was so disappointed when Keith left, because we would have got promotion that year, definitely, the year he left. And I think he was probably my biggest influence, apart from Benny Fenton, because Benny was great at player manhandling. He was great. He just had this way about him. He made you feel so good. We'd come in, we'd be out there just before a game and have our warm up. Come in and he's sidle up to you and he'd go, "Hey, Poss, you looking a bit sharp today, son. I fancy you for a goal." It just made you feel good. So I'd say Benny had a lot to do with it. Keithy and me, I think, made each other, carry on from when we were at Tottenham. It carried on and we got better and the team got better and the players, Benny brought us some great players, Dennis Bennett's, and people like that, Alf Wood, Barry Bridges when he come. I had a great relationship on the field and off the field with Bridgeau. It was great. So, lots of things make it better.
Hi, Derek. It's Dave Hart here.
Hey, Dave.
It's great to hear you talk about the training sessions over at Deptford Park, with the running track there. But I'm going to take you back to November 1971. We had an unforgettable game against Birmingham at the Den. What you did in that match turned into something legendary, and I think it's still unmatched today. Would you mind sharing with us what happened and which award you received for it?
Oh, totally. Well, we were playing Birmingham and we were both sort of near the top of the league and big rivalry. And I always remember the goal because, we were under pressure and the ball got knocked into the box. And I think it was Gordon Bolland, actually, who headed it out. And then it got knocked out again. And Bridgeau came onto it and took it inside the field. And I made one of my runs, just went for it. And Bridgeau knocked a great ball through. And I pinged it just outside the box with my left foot. And people always said, "Oh, you were left-footed." I said, "No, I'm right-footed." But as a kid, you used to kick the tennis ball up against the wall and learn to kick with both feet. And pinged it in and scored. Dougie Alder was the first one to me, Bridgeau, and we went on to win. And at the end of the season, Brian Moore with Match of the Day, I got Goal of the Year. And they all thought Georgie Best was going to get it when he beat about 5 people in the box and slotted it, but he'd done that every week. I didn't do that every week. Smash it with my left foot. So I got I got that, and I got a nice trophy for it. Goal of the Year, 1971, pretty incredible, actually.
Yeah, I can remember that goal, standing in the goal below lane end of the old Den. Actually, great times. Anyway, 1971-72 season was a milestone for Millwall. They achieved their best finish and were heading for promotion. The final Saturday's victory over Preston North End thrilled their fans, lifting players high and hopeful for the club's first top-flight promotion. What do you remember about that exciting day, and what was the unexpected twist in the story?
Well, the day was incredible. We won the game, and I do believe I scored on that day as well. And at the end of the game, the crowd swarmed onto the field and picked us up and they were trying to nick me boots. I kept saying, no, you can't nick me boots. They were trying to pull them off to take them as souvenirs. They took my shirt, and I remember being on people's shoulders and everything, carrying us around. And we'd been told that Birmingham had been beaten 2-1. And when I walked into the dressing room I was one of the last ones I got to get back into the dressing room. I walk in and it's just like a morgue. I was like, what the hell? What's going on? They said, Birmingham won 2-1. I said, you're joking. So it just killed the day. I remember that to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, I can remember it. There was a guy standing by us at the Coldblow Lone End. And he had a Magnum bottle of champagne. How he got it in, I'll never know. And he said, we were all celebrating, and he popped this cork in it and flying out, and the champagne was going everywhere. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eric.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
Watching football played by Bethany Manktelow's boys in white. It's the match of the day. Golden ball and gets them all in a spin. And Derek Possee knocks off banging their in. Down at the den, they're really on song. Millwall's going up as the Lions roar on. There'll be nothing to stop us when we've opened the door to Division 1 football forevermore. La 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 Millwall. La 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 Millwall. Harry Boy is a tower of strength. He will never give out. And with Barry Kitchener and Dennis Burnett, our defence is never in doubt. And right at the back, we're in the safe hands of Brian King, the best goalkeeper in the land. Down at the den, they're really on song. Millwall's going up as the Lions roar on. There'll be nothing to stop us when we've opened the door to Division 1 football forevermore. Down at the den, they're really on song. Millwall's going up as the Lions roar on. There'll be nothing to stop us when we've opened the door to Division 1 football forevermore. La 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 Millwall. Down at the den, they're really on song. Millwall's going up as the Lions roar on. There'll be nothing to stop us when we've opened the door to Division 1 football forevermore. La 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 Millwall. La 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 Millwall.
So, Derek, there have been many tales of Millwall's trip to Holland, now referred to as the Netherlands, and accounts do vary. So, what do you remember?
Well, Eamon asked me this yesterday, and I've seen the video of it. But you know what? I don't remember that trip at all. And it might be because I'm almost 80 and probably going senile. But they say when you get senile, you usually remember the past. But I don't remember that trip at all. And I looked at it and I thought it would give me like a memory or so, but it didn't. No, I don't remember it. I apologise, but I don't remember it.
Well, then, in January of 1973, you moved on to Crystal Palace for £118,000, which was a wonderful profit compared to the 25k that brought you to the Den. Our fans, they felt that pain, and it was a turning point that started a decline in the club's overall standing. So how do you look back on your departure?
Well, Keefe Weller had gone, and I think the club were looking to get money, because I mean, Millwall's always been a club that's toughed it through thick and thin, and I love Millwall, always will do. But I think I just, I'd gone because West Ham wanted me. And I went over and spoke to Ron Greenwood, but I had to wait 2.5 hours in his office waiting for him. And when I went over to Crystal Palace, the whole board were there and welcomed me in. And because I'd had tryouts with them before I went to Tottenham when I was 15. And they said, "Oh, we're going to get you at last." And they pampered me and were all over me, and they convinced me to go to Palace. I'm not saying it's the best decision I made, but it's part of my journey. And I worked with Malcolm Allison when he came, who was a great coach. I thought he was a great coach. Totally different to Benny. Benny was a little more sort of player orientated. Malcolm was flamboyant, as we all know, if you remember Malcolm Allison. And it was just part of my journey. And then I went to Orient and spent a couple of years there, and then ended up in Vancouver with Tony Waiters, who had coached against me. He was Plymouth coach when we beat them 2-0 and I scored, and then he brought me to Vancouver. And I've been here ever since, but really, yeah.
Wow, thank you.
Well, Derek, before you leave us, we have my prediction game that we play every week, with 3 games being chosen from this week's games coming up fixtures. So it's with great pleasure I ask you to predict, starting off with our beloved Lions at home to Charlton. I'll settle for another 4-3, Derek, but how do you think it's going to go?
I think it'll be 2-0.
2-0 to Millwall. That's what I like to hear, of course. The next game that I've chosen, Derek, was Middlesbrough, who are flying pretty high up there, and Preston have stumbled a little bit lately, but still up there. So Middlesbrough at home to Preston. How do you see that game, Derek?
2-1 to Borough.
To Borough, yeah. And finally, an interesting game, I think, because both these sides are beginning to try and make a push for the point. Queen's Park Rangers, at home to Wrexham. 1-1.
1-1
for QPR and Wrexham. Well, that's very strange.
Yeah, because Wrexham seem to be sort of hanging in there in games. And Queen's Park Rangers, as always, are all over the place. They're either winning or they're losing. There seems to be no in between, but I fancy a 1-1 there.
Well, Derek, you don't have to explain it, because believe it or not, you've done exactly the same predictions as me. So great minds think alike.
Great minds think alike.
They do, Derek.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much for those predictions. There's a chance that you might win a prize, and we really appreciate you joining us today, Derek.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's been fascinating to hear you talk about your time in football, and all the best to you and yours. So until next time, Derek, it's goodbye for now.
Well, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure. I always love the Lions.
Cheers, Derek.
Cheers.
The 2 goals against Charlton.
Yeah.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you, everybody. It's lovely talking to you.
And you. Derek Possee, great stories, and what a star. Let's take a break there and hear from Harvey Brown.
Hi, Harvey Brown here. I am proud of the Lions Food Hub, which is jointly owned by Kelly and Ellen Webster, and they have been supporting families within our community for over 2 years on Millwall match days. If you would like to donate to them, they have a match day donation hub at the SE16 bar at Coldblow Lane, end of the ground, where they accept any food or money and toiletry donations. If you can help, any donations will be received with thanks.
I'm your host, Bethany Manktelow, and with me I have the No One Likes Talkin team of Dave Hart, Andy Pettman and Ted Robinson. Get your donations made before we play Charlton, or you can still make donations to the Lions Food Hub all throughout the week at the Lions Centre, the home of the Millwall Community Trust. Many people are thrilled to hear that Ellis Barr is making significant progress in improving her mobility. Since mid-September, she has been steadily recovering after her surgery. We're all supporting her and sending her our best wishes as she continues our journey. Here's Ellis now.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos. Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Thank you as always, Ellis. Paul Loding brings us the Millwall Romans and Pride's update with John Goodyear.
Hi, it's Paul Loding at the Millwall Romans with a quick update for the week. Last weekend, nothing from the Romans, but Pride did play against Barnstormers. Barnstormers, a really good team, they've been in the league the last few years. I caught up with co-manager John Goodyear.
Millwall Pride had a fantastic win over Barnes at the weekend in our first home game of 2026. It was a 2-0 win, and scoreline really flattered the opposition. What was a really dominant performance from Pride. Sam Pennant got both goals, including a lightning finish for the second, and we also hit the bar twice and should have had a Stonewall penalty. Almost kind of host of chances as Barnes kind of really clung on, and we completely dominated the ball in their half, made a lot of chances. Next up is Soho Tigers away this Sunday, and Pride will be aiming to extend their unbeaten start to the season.
And just touching quickly on the Millwall game in the week, managed to watch that on Tuesday night. A little bit devastating for them to concede in the second half like that. I thought they played really well. I thought they really matched Coventry. Really unlucky, and obviously we're rooting for them this year. I think this year could be the year that we see Millwall in the Premier League. But fingers crossed anyway. But it's unlucky to the guys there and well played. Predictions for this week: Millwall Charlton, big game. It's going to have to be Millwall. I think Millwall are just going to beat that one 1-0. Middlesbrough Preston, I think Borough 2-1, and QPR Wrexham. I'm going to go with 1-0.
Thank you to Paul and John. Our Millwall Lionesses headed to the National League Dulwich Hamlet last Sunday in the Capital Cup. Millwall Community Trust's Kai Bennett was there and picked up the story.
Millwall Lionesses lost 4-0 against Dulwich Hamlet women in the Capital Cup on Sunday. However, Maisie Joyce became the first player to hit 100 appearances for the club since the reform. Ted Jones's side host Richmond and Kew this Sunday in the London and South East Regional Women's League trophy.
Another commentator watching that Dulwich Hamlet game said, "The girls from Millwall did their best. I cannot fault the effort they gave. They are young and each game is for learning." Full details for this Sunday's game will be provided in the last section of tonight's show. On Saturday, we defeated Watford at Vicarage Road by 2-0 with Aziz and Coburn scoring. On Tuesday, we visited table toppers Coventry City. They had that man who was once on loan from that Sellers club, Romain Esse, and he stung us with their opener. Nonetheless, Ivanovic replied for us and we went even. The second half started promisingly, but we spurned opportunities. The Sky Blues scored late on and we just could not get that equaliser. Thanks to the Millwall FC media team, here are Alex Neil's thoughts after the match.
But I think that everybody is aware that as a club we're fully connected. You know what I mean? The fans, the team, the club, everybody just wants us to do well and win. And what I will say, the fans showed up in good numbers. They were great, they're vocal, but the players left everything on the pitch. You know what I mean? I'm really, really proud of the players. I thought they absolutely tried. They gave everything for the game. And I just think from that perspective we can't ask much more. The difficulty you've got, it's hard for me to sum it up now because I feel really disappointed for them. But that's what happens at the top end of the level. It's moments, isn't it? You know what I mean? We had our moments first and we didn't take them, and then we got damaged by one moment in the game and unfortunately lost us a match.
Ted, at Vicarage Road, did we let the Hornets off lightly with just a 2-0 defeat?
Did we let them off lightly? I think we did, certainly in the first half, because the only surprising thing about the first half was that it was 0-0 at half-time. We were so dominant in the game and playing so well that it should really probably have been 2-0 at half-time. So it was a wonderful performance at Watford, though, because they was the league form side going into that game. And I must admit, we made them look quite ordinary. We played probably what I thought was some of our best football of the season, and thankfully we took it on into the Coventry game. I think over the last 2 games, it's been the best that we've played. Yes, I may not have got the best results. Certainly the Watford one was good, but the Coventry one wasn't. But I think it's the best we've played in them 2 games, and there's no coincidence with all the players coming back from the injuries that we've had. Slowly but surely, that our performances are picking up. So, yeah, I think Watford got away lightly with a 2-0 defeat, and Coventry obviously nicked a 2-1 win against us.
Certainly. Dave, many fans say that we should never have lost that game at Coventry. So, how, from your perspective, might it have been a different story?
Yeah, I think I can go along with that. A lot of fans will feel that way. I do as well. It's a hard place to go to, Coventry, especially with the team they've got this season. And we started off quite brightly. We could let them have the ball as we have done loads of times, and just limited their attack on our goal. And when the goal did come, it was a bit of a stinger. But the quick response from Ivanovic was a lovely goal. The cross from Aziz and just that flick in over the goalkeeper was great. Second half, it was more of the same thing. Great save by their goalkeeper. We had chances, they had chances, and I think it was a bit of a fluke on their winner. But the difference between the 2 sides on the night was their clinical finishing. If we'd been as clinical as Coventry, I think we would have been the ones taking the 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. Andy, over those 2 games, has Negley shown enough to knock back the negative views about his contributions, do you think?
Definitely. I mean, I think he came in, didn't he, a year ago as our record signing, and people expect from him straight away. But I think it's tough moving into the Championship from the Dutch league. And when he was playing on the wing quite a bit, wasn't he? When Aziz was out, he looked a bit lightweight on that wing, and he became a bit of a boo boy, didn't he, for the team? But I don't know. Since we've had the injuries in the last, not even the last 2 games, I'd say the last 6 weeks or so, he's really sort of shown his strengths. And what surprised me, he seems great in the centre, but going further back as well. And he's winning tackles, and he's having great assists. I think he's had he's been really positive how he's been playing lately. It's been good.
Yeah, I'd certainly agree. On Saturday, it is Jimmy's Day, which is always the day where we host Charlton Athletic. Well, they are back in the 2nd tier, and that tradition continues. We face the Addicts at the Den with another 12:30pm kickoff. Charlton were defeated by the odd goal in 3 on Tuesday night and could not find an equaliser, despite late pressure and a man advantage, with Derby defender Matt Clark receiving a 2nd yellow card late on. On Saturday, they hosted the Blades, who were down to 9 men by half-time, with Sumir and Tanganga sent off. We won't see either of those at the Den due to their bans. Charlton scored 1 goal in the second half, and they were hanging on in the end to get the 3 points. Their league form has improved, with 3 games without defeat. They sit in 18th spot in the table, and are only 4 points above the drop zone. They will be desperate for a victory at the Den. We drew 1-1 at the Valley in early September, with Ray's Bangura Williams scoring a late equaliser. They were tough to break down, but we stayed on point to secure a draw and protect our record, which hurts them. Our league performances have improved over the last 6 matches, with 2 draws, 3 wins and that loss on Tuesday. Keep in mind, players are still returning from injury. Both teams will want to put last Tuesday's performances behind them and focus on securing wins this Saturday. Alex Neil understands the importance of gaining 3 points this weekend, as he seeks to cement Millwall's place in the playoff zone. As for Nathan Jones, he'll be fired up for this one, as will his team. Unsurprisingly, given Millwall's recent form and league position, the bookies have us at 3-4 to win, a draw at 12-5, and a Charlton win at 4-1. The odds are not so close, however, it is a London derby game. So, what's your opinion, team? And Ted, remind me, how many years is it since we lost to the Addicts?
Well, I'm 66 years of age, Bethany, and it could be as long as that. Well, I hope it finishes up being as long as that, I should say. It's been a long time, getting on for 30 odd years, I think. But at the end of the day, I love that little bit you're just reading out, because you turned out at the end saying it's a London derby game. And quite often in London derby games, the form book can go out the window. So that's the worry that it could be Charlton's day on Saturday, but I'm really hoping not, because I think if we look at, say, the last 2 performances we've had, we seem to be running into a bit of form in the way that we're playing. And I think if we keep up with that, and if Coburn can get on the pitch for a little bit longer than he has in the last couple of games, Ivanovic seems to be finding these goal-scoring boots again. A little mention about Negley, because Andy was just talking about, I think he's been excellent the last few games, and he seems to be becoming a more confident player for us. So if that confidence carries on throughout the side, I think what would help us if we get a nice early goal on Saturday, and I think that might settle us down a bit. And it's either going to be one of them games where we're biting our nails and hoping we're going to win and we're trying to hang on at the end, or I think if we get an early goal, we could actually have a very good win against Charlton. I'm going for a 2-0 win, a little bit conservative in my own mind. No, sorry, I'll go for a 2-1 win, because I think it's going to be, I think they're going to be difficult to break down, and they might just nick one. But I'm hoping we're going to get there, a bit like one of my most recent wonderful memories when Matt Smith headed that winner in at the 90th minute or wherever it was. I hope it ain't to the 90th minute. I hope we're 2-1 up and cruise home. But that's how I see it. Hopefully it's 2-1. But hopefully my other thought's going to be even better, and it will happen, and it'll be 4-0.
Andy, what are your thoughts?
Well, I looked it up, and I was in 6th form when they last beat us, and I'm in my late 40s now, so it's gone on a while. I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a bit edgy as well, like our games are against them, more recently anyway, where I think it'll also be 2-1. I would love to hammer them, but I don't know, I've just got a feeling it's going to be a scrappy game. I think they're going to be very defensive, Charlton. We are the better team.
We'd love to hammer them, Andy, but 2-1 to do, wouldn't it?
2-1 will definitely do. But also, can't remember the one, was it under Kenny Jackett, where 4-0, we just hammered them at home. That was good. Early goal, carry on. We could do one of them again.
Dave, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's great to listen to you two talking away there. I'm 76 at the moment, so I'm 77 this year. So all my mates were Charlton fans, and we've had some great times with them. Lots and lots and lots of wins, and local derby, as Ted said. And they've still got to get that lump out of that hole in the ground where Sar's face went in when we scored in that win. Anyway, my prediction is a 3-0 win for the Lions, and it'll be great if it could be more.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said I'll gladly give you the points for that if it's 3-0.
Oh, yeah, right.
See, I'm going slightly different, Dave. I'm going for a 3-1 win. I am, but I'm 30, and I believe that it was the 95-96 season that they last beat us. So it has been 30 years since they beat us. So hopefully I can carry on my streak of never seeing us lose to Charlton. So I'm going for a 3-1.
I'm not glad you was born, Bethany, because I hold you now with that record.
As long as it doesn't snow the weekend. That's what it did 30 years ago.
Oh, God, yes. No snow, thank you. That was the last time I remember them beating us at home.
So what are our predictions for Ted's other two games? So we've got Middlesbrough, Preston and QPR Wrexham. Ted.
Right, I've gone with the Middlesbrough Preston one. I don't know what's happened to Preston in the last couple of games. They seem to have gone off the ball, and they had their centre forward, who's an absolute lunatic, headbutted someone who's just come back from an 8-game ban and blatantly headbutted someone, so God knows how long he'll be out for. But anyway, Middlesbrough flying high a little bit, and I can't see Preston doing anything now, so I've gone for Middlesbrough 2, Preston 0. QPR Wrexham, as I said to Derek earlier, he's got the same as me. I think QPR are sort of so up and down, but I have said earlier in the night to someone that Wrexham are the side to keep an eye on because they're ones with a little bit of momentum behind them coming in. But anyway, I think Wrexham and QPR are going to play out a 1-1 draw on Saturday.
Lovely. Dave, what are your predictions?
Yeah, I'm reading the same script here. Ted, I'll go along with you. I think Borough are going to be 2-0 winners against Preston, and I think the QPR Wrexham game is also going to be 1-1.
Andy, are you the same or have you gone a bit different?
I've got exactly the same. It's quite worrying, isn't it? So I'm going to go for a 3-0. I'm going to go for an extra goal. Just see if they hammer Preston, just to be a bit different. Yeah, QPR went for 1-0 as well because I don't know. I can't see either of them.
I deliberately picked that one, Andy, because I was looking at it, and I thought I just cannot pick a winner out of these two, and I just thought it might be a bit of a strain on it. But I forgot everybody would just think the same as me. It's got to be a draw.
Everyone goes for the draw.
Yeah.
Let's go for 2-2. Make it more high goal scoring. See if that works.
So I'm going to go 2-1 Middlesbrough Preston. And then for QPR Wrexham, I'm going to go 2-1 to Wrexham. I think they've got a little bit of momentum behind them at the moment. But I've not been doing too well in the scoring league, so we'll see.
I must admit, Bethany, that if I was edging anyway, it would have been that, because I do think they're ones to, if out of all the pack below us, they're the ones to keep an eye on, I think. They've put a bid in £19 million for a striker, haven't they? I've read today.
I was just about to say, 19 million.
Well, we've never had 19 million at any time, have we? Let alone to put it on one striker.
No, I know. I think we need to get the Hollywood money in, it sounds like, don't you think?
Oh, dear. Millwall and Hollywood don't, I think, go together, I don't think.
So we've also got some predictions from Nick Wythe of the Facebook Millwall Sicily site. Let's hear what Nick has to predict.
Hello everyone. My predictions: Millwall 2, Charlton 0, Middlesbrough 2, Preston 0, QPR 1, Wrexham 2.
Okay, he went for the same as me. Thank you, Nick. And thanks to you, Dave Hart, for compiling the results and creating our table. Let's take a break there and we will hear about the Millwall Community Trust from yours truly. Our Millwall Community Trust Lions Centre has a 4G football pitch where 9 versus 9 can play, a sports hall, classrooms and a cafe. To access these state-of-the-art facilities in a safe and positive environment, get in touch on 0207 740 0503. I'm your host, Bethany Manktelow, and with me I have the No One Likes Talkin team of Dave Hart, Andy Pettman and Ted Robinson. As Stan often says, the Millwall Community Trust are our crown jewels, and he's certainly right. We are all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for Millwall fans and those interested in football.
With the visit of the Addicts this Saturday, we'll see the club host the annual Jimmy's Day in memory of Jimmy Mizzen. On the 10th of May 2026, it will be 18 years since Lions fan Jimmy was tragically murdered in an unprovoked attack in Lee, in London, aged just 16. Following his death, his family have dedicated their lives to working for peace in his memory. The Mizzens have since shared Jimmy's story in schools, churches, prisons and workplaces, and their message of forgiveness and peace and hope has impacted the lives of countless people and has inspired many to build safer, more peaceful communities.
Before kick-off, both Millwall and Charlton players will be wearing Mizzen Foundation T-shirts for the warm-up. Bucket collections will be held around the ground prior to kick-off on Saturday to help support the amazing work that the Mizzens undertake. Please take some change with you on Saturday to the ground, because I know everything's by card. If you take a bit of change, you're going to help support the Mizzen Foundation by throwing a few coins into their buckets. Barry Mizzen, husband of Margaret and father of Jimmy, will also address the crowd before the match gets underway. For your information, the annual Jimmy Mizzen Cup will now take place in the Lions Centre on Saturday, the 14th of March, as Millwall host Blackburn Rovers on the club's annual Community Day. We will have more on that closer to the date. And I would just like to say best wishes to my grandson, Zach, who is going to be mascot on Saturday against Charlton. Hope he has a wonderful day. I'm sure he will. And I know he'll do. He's got a very proud granddad sitting in the stand. So good luck, Zach. Thank you.
The Millwall Lionesses will return to action in a twice-postponed league trophy fixture this Sunday as they now host Cuman Richmond. This fixture has been switched to St Paul's Sports Ground as current weather conditions are unlikely to allow the game to go ahead at the opposition's ground. It's another London derby. The match will take place at St Paul's Sports Ground, Salter Road, London, SE16 5DZ at 1:30pm this Sunday. If you can join our Lionesses, they would greatly appreciate your support. Both teams are eager to progress in the league trophy, and with a passionate crowd, the Lionesses game will be played with pride, desire and determination. Come along, sing a song and cheer our Lionesses on.
Tune in to the No One Likes Talkin team for reports from our games home and away for the Lions, Lionesses, Romans and Pride. You'll also receive updates on Millwall community topics from us and through Maritime Radio, available on 96.5 FM or via their website. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Spreaker, Maritime Radio podcasts and all major podcast platforms. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Bethany.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Bethany.
And thank you, Ted.
Cheers, Bethany.
And a big thank you to you all for tuning in. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there, and let's make sure we carry on our 30-year winning streak of beating Charlton. Good night from me.
Let's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Yeah! Let them come, let them come, let them come, let them all come down to the den. Let them come, let them come, we'll only have to beat them again. It's the best team in London.
Our Millwall Fan Show is sponsored by G&M Motors of Gravesend, Honda dealers and much more. Thank you.